So my series for the next 3 weeks is Science and Spirituality. Now, I've done that a couple of times. People love it. I am not a scientist. And many times there are people in my audience that know more about what I'm talking about than I do. So if you do, just correct me. I'm finding this new book by Greg Braden, The Science of Self-Empowerment, fascinating. I don't know if anyone has read this book. I love Greg Braden. I've heard him in person, and I've used several of his books to teach from. However, this was a surprise. You pick a book, you like the title. Self-empowerment. Sounded good. Woohoo. So hold on to your seats. Are you ready? Ready. This is Beyond Science 101. We're into advanced biology. Woohoo. So first of all, I want to share that there has been a shift in scientific questioning. So today we're asking questions. And the first question is, who are we? That's a good question. Who am I? Who are you? Who are we? And historically, we have been thought to be part of an evolutionary species that came about through hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years. Yes? Yes. However, Darwin, anyone remember Darwin? 150 years, I didn't know him personally, but 150 years ago, wrote The Origin of Species. And he talked about the evolutionary journey from Neanderthal to human beings as we are today. There's one challenge with that. And scientists are finding today that we have at least one, if not more, different biology makeups than I've been practicing for 2 days. Say it for me. Neanderthal man. So there is 1 or 2 cells that are different. We are not the evolutionary brother and sister of Neanderthals. In fact, scientists have found that human beings, as we are today, appeared on the earth 200,000 years ago, and we have not changed one bit. We are the same molecular species that we were 200,000 years ago. And we have a unique cellular makeup. Hooray. Okay, shift. There's a little part of me that wants to say, are you sure? Are you sure? Now, wait a minute. In science class, they said, this is science today. Now, as he says, he's a geologist. He is not a biologist, but he studies with many people who are, and this is what's coming to the forefront, that we are unique beings, and that we are here for a purpose. Now, actually, Paul and I have been to France, the exact place where they found Neanderthal man in Cro-Magnon, where they discovered the cave. A French priest who was taking his school children on a walk found this cave, walked into it, and saw all of these incredible etchings, drawings, you might call them, on the cave walls. And then they began excavating and found remnants of Cro-Magnon man. Now, that museum, that cave, had been closed for years and years. It's in the Dordogne River Valley in France. Paul and I were there the week they opened it. after years of being closed. Brings tears to my eyes. The only thing was you could only go in about 15 people at a time, and some are in English, some are in different languages. And we were there, and the only one they had available was French. So we didn't understand a word they said. But, however, you could feel the energy. And the lights are only on for about 15, 20 seconds, and then they go off because that light destroys the coloration on the walls. So when we got to the bookstore, there was one table in the bookstore that had books with English throughout the books. And there was one woman who spoke French and English in our tour. And she stood there and told us the whole tour while we gathered. But it was one of the most remarkable moments of my life because I'd always heard about this and I wanted to see it. And it moved me deeply in my heart. It moved me, as you can imagine. So now we go forward. If we are unique beings, what makes us unique, and what is it about us that we want to realize? So the next thing he talks about is remind yourself you are not a creature from an ancient time. You are part of a unique biology, you might say, and that we must honor our heart. So they have done much research on how the brain and the heart work together. They're partners. How they share neurons, how they communicate. And they are testing, looking at, researching how we have perceived the work that our brain and our heart does. Now, we perceive that I'll speak for myself, my mind, my brain is what thinks for me, right? My brain remembers for me, right? My brain does certain functions for me. What they have discovered is that it is our heart that carries our memories. It is our heart that carries our memories. It is our heart that for ancient times, the heart was the study of the shamans and the priests, and they looked to the heart, they honored the heart for its wisdom, its healing power, its connections, and its openness. So he gives examples. People who have had heart transplants. He tells the story of a woman who was a ballerina, famous ballerina. She was had a heart that wasn't functioning. She was about ready to leave the planet, and she was viable for a heart transplant. She was on the list. It was her turn, and she knew she was getting a heart from a young man that was a motorcycle rider and had been in an accident. She went through the process in the hospital. She came out, and she began about 2 months later to crave chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets and peppers, green peppers and chicken nuggets. And she was a ballerina. She ate delicate food. She was very careful about her diet, and she craved it. And she actually went and got chicken nuggets and green peppers. Finally, she asked her doctors if she could have any connection with the family, and they agreed. The young man loved chicken nuggets, his favorite, and especially KFC. And that's where she had been drawn, to KFC, chicken nuggets, and green peppers. Now, I have known people that have had transplants, and that changes their molecular energy with the heart, not the, we're not doing that kind of brain surgery. We're not replacing a brain. So when you remember from your heart. When I am remembering my mom, I think I'm thinking about my mom. I am feeling my mom. When I think I'm remembering something, I am feeling it. The heart is the container. The heart is the container of healing, of memories, of connection, and I would say of spirituality. Now, some of us here are thinkers. We think it through. I won't ask you to raise hands. I'll point at my husband. Some of us are thinkers. We don't have to acknowledge. Some of us are feelers. Some of us like to look at the whole picture. Some of us look at the little tiny details, not right or wrong. However, everyone's heart is the container of your memories. Everyone's heart is your container of wisdom. He uses the example when you meet someone for the first time, well, how do you react? He said when he was growing up, his father left their home when he was like 10 years old. And so he said, whenever I would come to a decision point in my life growing up, whether to join a team or whether to go to what college or what to study, etc. He said, I'd go to my mom and I'd ask her, what should I do? And she'd say, make a list, pros and cons. And he said, I did that and it never worked out. I might make the choice that I thought, maybe, but it never worked out. He said, we call it trust your gut. He said, it's not your gut, it's your heart. Your heart knows when you make a connection. Your heart knows when something's right for you. Your heart is your teacher, is your wise one. So what do we think about this? Do we agree? Are we scratching our heads? The book goes on. We've just done the first 2 chapters. I'm just saying. We left behind many thousands of years, Neanderthals. We left behind many things, and now we are in the consciousness of heart wisdom. And that really is what unity is about. I was talking to someone who's new today who was saying that she feels, that unity is about heart. Whenever anyone asks me, what makes unity different? I say, we come from the heart. Mm-hmm. The first line I wrote in my ministry in Lake Oswego when I started it was, everything starts at the heart. Everything starts at the heart. Heart heals. Heart engages. Heart carries our wisdom. Look at me going to my head. Heart goes to our wisdom. So we're going to go on a journey. We're going to learn more about our heart. We're going to learn more about how to access our heart scientifically. A lot of us like proof. 3, 4 people like proof? Well, okay. Oh, there was a wave. Some of us like proof, so we're on a journey now. And we're on a journey of discovery, of finding out how to access that wisdom of the heart, how to heal with that heart, and how to use it as we make decisions and make connections. Next week, we're going to be learning about how to access the heart's wisdom. So now we're going to move into that place where we breathe into our hearts. If you have anything in your lap, set it aside. I like to wiggle in my chair, shrug my shoulders, tap your toes. Stretch out those arms, but don't hit anyone. Stretch out those arms. Move that neck a little bit. If you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, please shrug them. And let that natural smile come upon your face as you relax, knowing that there's one presence and it lives in you. Breathing in very slowly and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. If you have a question today that you're looking for a solution to, if you have a healing need, if you are searching for wisdom, take this moment. Take it into your heart. And I invite you, if you feel comfortable, to put your hand on your heart. This most glorious organ in our body that we take for granted. And now, as we enter into that deep, deep silence, where only we can go, we feel our heart beating. We feel the depth of knowing. Breathing very slowly. Great gratitude. Great gratitude. Feeling the energy moving through my body. Feeling the heart awakening to my level of understanding. Everything starts at my heart. Say that to yourself. Everything starts at my heart. I let go of any fear or concern. I am guided by my heart. I let go of any disappointment, frustration. I am guided by my heart. I acknowledge the wisdom that my heart carries, leading and guiding me throughout my life. Very slowly, when you're ready, opening your eyes. I like to call it half eyes, cat eyes, just kind of blinking eyes. Adjusting to the light around you. We've been on a walk with our heart. And so it is. Amen. In the name of all great spiritual teachers, we say, Amen. Amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you.